Hi everyone, it's Rebecca Coomes from The Healthy Gut. Do you like spices and curry flavours and smoked fish flavours? Well, if the answer is yes, then I think you're going to absolutely love my Spicy Breakfast Kedgeree. I first learnt about Kedgeree when I was living in the UK, and it's this wonderful combination of Indian and British cuisine all rolled into one, and I'd love to show you how to make it today. So the first step is you need to cook your smoked fish. Now here in Australia we have ample access to smoked cod, so I'm going to be using that, but you may have access to smoked haddock or something else. Whatever you can get that's local to you, then you need to use that. So I've popped that just in the base of my large rimmed pan, and I'm going to cover it with some cold water. Now I haven't boiled this kettle, it's just cold water, because what I want to do with this is I want to bring this water to the boil, and as that happens, it will cook the fish. The moment the water comes to the boil, we know it's time to take it off the heat, pull the fish out and then flake it. The water has come to the boil, so the fish is now cooked through, and all you need to do now is just remove it out of the water. Now it will probably fall apart on me, yes it has, because it's quite soft, but you just want to bring the fish out onto a plate, and then you want to remove the skin from the fish. So you want to just flake the fish, because that's then going to go into our kedgeree. So I just use 2 forks and I literally just flake it away, and because it's nice and tender and succulent from having that water bath, it's very easy to do. Once you've flaked the fish, the next step is to actually put the kedgeree together. So we start off by melting some ghee into a hot frying pan, and ghee is a wonderful oil to use, especially with Indian cooking. It's used really commonly and it just adds such a great flavour to it. Now normally I would use spring onions, but today I felt like using 1 leek, so I've got 1 leek chopped up here. To that I'm also going to add 1 red chilli, which I've sliced. I've also got 1 stick of celery, which I've also finely diced. And you just want to cook this for a couple of minutes until the vegetables have softened. The vegetables have softened off nicely, and I'm just going to add some fresh ginger to the stir fry and just give that a really quick stir fry. And to this I have got some curry powder, and this is what gives it this lovely flavour. Now when you're buying curry powder, make sure that it doesn't contain any thickeners or binders, because these aren't great when you're treating SIBO. So I'll pop that in and just give this a stir so that the curry powder blends in nicely with the vegetables, and it also helps to release the aroma. That's looking good. I'm going to turn the heat right down. I've got 2 cups of cooked rice, which I'll pop in here, and I want to stir this well so that the rice is completely coated with the curry powder. So that's looking great. The colour of this rice is just wonderful. Look at that. So now it's time to pop the cod back in, so we'll stir this back through the rice, and we just want to heat it enough so that the cod returns to a hot temperature. And at the same time we'll also add in half a cup of my 24-hour yogurt, which you can get the recipe from the SIBO Family Favourite cookbook. Now, when you're treating SIBO, dairy often can be quite problematic for people, but when you've allowed dairy yogurt to ferment for 24 hours, it can be much more easily digested by some people. So, worthwhile giving a shot and seeing if you can tolerate it. So we'll just stir all of that through. I'll also season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. The fish is quite salty, so you won't need a lot, but I just always like to add a little bit more in, and some pepper. And you just want to stir that until it is nicely combined and everything has heated through really well. Everything's stirred through nicely, it's heated nicely, so it's time to serve. And this is a great breakfast dish. It's great for brunch, you could have it for lunch, you could even have it as a lovely supper. It really is a very versatile meal for any time of the day. So give yourself a bowl of that, and the traditional way of serving kedgeree is to pop a boiled egg on the top. So there's my boiled egg, just pop that on the top, and then I love to sprinkle some freshly chopped coriander over the top of that. And if you want, you could also serve it with a wedge of lemon or lime. So there's my spiced breakfast Kedgeree recipe. If you'd like today's recipe or any of my other SIBO friendly recipes, you can get them from the SIBO Family Favourites cookbook. I'm Rebecca Coomes from The Healthy Gut, and I look forward to seeing you next time.